All right, hi everyone, I'm Amelia, and today we are talking about serpentines and how to properly change the bend in your horse. This is something that I know I'm guilty of, and I'm sure most of you are guilty of. And what I see a lot is, like, say you're tracking to the left and you're gonna change direction and go on to a right-hand circle. What most riders do is they're going along nicely to the left and their horse is bending left, and all of a sudden they do this and they just yank on the right corner of their mouth and rip their horse's head to the right in order to change bend. And that is, for one, very rude to your horse's mouth, and for two, not correct as far as establishing the new bend. So I'm going to first show you how not to do it, and then I'm going to show you how to change the bend properly. It's important first to think about the aids for bending. So if I'm going on a circle to the left and my horse is bending to the left, I have my inside leg at the girth and my outside leg behind the girth. My inside rein is indicating a little bit flexion to the inside, and my outside rein is guiding his outside shoulder on the circle. So what I see happen a lot is people are coming along here and they want to go to the right, so all of a sudden they just pull on the right rein, and that's what happens. You saw he sped up, he put his head up, and he did this itty bitty circle to the right. Now he actually bent, which a lot of horses just don't even bend to the inside. So don't do that, please. It's not nice to your horse. So let me show you the correct way. So again, now I'm going to the right. So my right leg's at the girth. My left leg is behind the girth, because if my left leg is up here, his butt is going to swing over to the outside. So the job of your outside leg back is to keep the horse's haunches from falling to the outside. The job of your inside leg is to keep the horse from falling on the inside shoulder. Your inside rein tells the horse to look to the inside. Now if I'm going to go to the left, let me just stop here for a minute. So if I'm bending right and I want to go to the left, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my left leg forward, because it was back, put my left leg forward, and I'm going to move his body over to the right. So what starts the change of bend is my left leg. So I'm going to push him over to the right. Now, once he moves over and he's into my right rein, my left rein is going to ask him to look a little to the left. I'm going to put my right leg back, and then I'm going to track to the left. So it's a lot that has to happen in a very short period of time, which is why a lot of you guys are doing this incorrectly. So let me show you again. So now I'm going to the left, and if I'm going to change to the right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my right leg forward and push him off the right leg. Now once he's in my left rein, I'm going to take and give on that right rein. I'm going to put my left leg back, and now I have the right bend. And notice that it was a nice smooth change of bend. The tempo stayed the same. He didn't speed up. His neck stayed nice and low and round. So let me show you again. I'm going to start about now. Push him up, bring my left leg forward, push him off the left leg, ask him to look to the left, right leg goes back, and now I am bending to the left. So that little movement where you ask your horse to bend from one direction and then change directions is very complicated and very important, because horses are generally much more comfortable bending one way than the other. So your job as your horse's trainer is to work on getting them bending equally in both directions. So if you're still having trouble with this, what I have a lot of people do is just simply make a walk transition during that change of bend. So walk, push him off my left leg, get the bend to the left, and then pick up the trot again. Because sometimes, because there's so much that has to happen, and also sometimes the horses rush through that change of bend. So making a walk transition there gives you and your horse a little more time to push him off my right leg and then pick up the trot to the right after I have established the new bend. So once you've kind of got it figured out like that, then you can challenge yourself and try riding a 3 or a 4 loop serpentine. We don't have a court set up today, but the tighter that you make your loops, the less time you have between each change of bend, and the more it challenges your horse. Also make sure, if you're in posting trot, every time you change the bend, you have to change your posting diagonal. So that's another thing, in addition to all those things that I just told you about pushing him off the new inside leg and changing your leg position. You also have to remember to change the bend and to change your posting diagonal. Boy. So now here, I'm pushing him off my left leg, I'm moving him into the right rein, I'm changing my leg position, and I'm also changing my posting diagonal. Push him off the right leg, change my diagonal, bend him to the right. And then a real test of this serpentine is if you can do it with your horse stretching down. So get a nice stretch circle, and this really tests how supple your horse is and if they're on the aids. Push him off the left leg, get him to bend to the left. For this horse, he likes to kind of overbend left, and he's a little more stiff to the right. So it's always more difficult on him to change from left to right bend than it is to change from right to left bend. Boy. So I hope that was helpful. Don't forget to sign up for my email list. And if you enjoy these videos, support us on Patreon. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching. Boy, Don Carlos.